because it's not about the dollar and cents, so to speak, but you want to limit your exposure to how much you got to give away to the government for free. And that's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
At least for me.
And through the desert on a horse with no name.
Right?
Let's go my bed. Let's go.
I read the news today, a two-bit expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, it goes the headlines, man. They all just go to plan. Their brain, they're fixed and rigged, and you know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in, because it's way under your skin. Just got by. Give me that good news.
Why's that?
Because I'm tired of the same old shit.
Ah, yes, Friday morning. Right here at 21.6 The Net, you are stuck in the grounds. Of course, the grounds, that stuff, the yucky stuff that makes sweet, sweet nectar. Today, we've got hounds and grounds and hounds. What is it?
Grounds and hounds. Yeah.
Madagascar vanilla. Absolutely must be nice today. Of course, this is the most unique show on 21.6 The Net, as you'll see right there, folks. Go ahead, copy that link, that URL, throw it in there, and join the show. Grab your cup of coffee. Come on in. We'll be talking about grounds and hounds, and we'll give that up. How many pucks?
How many pucks do we really enjoy it or not? Yeah.
And of course, the grounds with Giles. He's Giles. I'm Jones. Brought to you through the financial support of our good friends over at Fantasy Factory, McHenry, Illinois, right across from the library. Stop in, give them a call. Check them out at www.fantasyfactory.com.
Yeah, McHenry, Fantasy Factory, McHenryIIL.com. Yeah.
Or give them a call at 815-385-7399. No better time than now. Why wait till the second week of February to do something special for your sweetheart? Make their fantasy come true at Fantasy Factory. Even if you have questions.
Oh yeah.
If you're like, I don't know how this turns on, they'll educate you.
Push the button.
I can't find the button. Never mind.
The button. That's a different story.
Hey there. And of course, today, it must be nice.
That is our topic today. It must be nice, right?
It must be nice.
Yeah. It is nice. And I didn't say it, but good morning, everybody. It's Friday. Hope everyone had an awesome week. Looking forward to the weekend. And, kind of if you're able to, or if you're one of those people that can sit around and relax for 2 days on Saturday and Sunday, hope you have a great time. And appreciate you tuning in with us today for It Must Be Nice. What a comment. What a statement that most people don't even think about, that statement and what it means and why they say it, right?
Yeah. Of course, Sally, good morning.
Good morning.
Is that a relative?
Yeah. She's relatively my mom.
So does she go by Nani, Grammy, Mom? What do you call her?
Mom. Grandma from the kids.
Grandma.
They didn't. Grandma was just a special name, nothing like Nana or anything like that. No,
she wasn't a mammy.
No. But now she's for my grandbaby. She's gonna be G-Ma, I think.
The old
G-Ma. OG-Ma. Yeah. OG-Ma. I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, with her, we're gonna let Everly figure out what she wants to call her. Grandma doesn't care what she calls her, I don't think, as long as she's just calling her.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Giving her some. Yeah, it must be nice.
Of course, this topic all came about because our good friend Don Bremer.
Yeah.
And Don, good morning. Couldn't be here. Very, very busy.
As we all are.
Yeah. But she's done a lot of work to her house. She works very hard. Single mom, right?
Yeah.
Runs a heck of a business. Involved in the school board. I mean, she's school board president. She's involved in, she sits on the board of directors for Kids in Need. I mean, she does a lot of stuff.
Yeah. No, she's very involved in the community and giving back, which is key, which is great,
And so she is remodeling remodeling her house, and
Right.
she just finishing up her kitchen, which is beautiful, by the way. Great work. And she gets a text from, she's proud of it, so she sends a picture to a friend, and the friend responds, "Oh, must be nice."
Right.
What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
To me?
Yeah, to you. What does that mean?
Well, when somebody says must be nice to me, there's a couple different things, but as generally it's coming off as, like jealous, or like I'm something special, like, I deserved more than them, or they deserve that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's it kind of hurts some ways when they say it must be nice. Like, well, yeah, of course it is. If you're my friend, you should be like, dude, that's awesome. Great job. Not it must be nice, because to me, must be nice comes across as jealousy and passive aggressive.
Okay.
Right. I mean, so how about, hey, Kent, congratulations. You did a nice job, dude. Not, hey, Kent, must be nice. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, so my answer to people when they say that generally is, depending on the person, I guess, it is, I work my ass off. So when I do something and buy something, or, it is nice.
Yeah.
I'm rewarding myself.
Yeah. And look at, here comes Pops in here. What's he say?
He doesn't mean to generalize, but the statement "it must be nice" is basically passive-aggressive phrase and used by jealous people who see themselves as victims. 100%. 100%.
That's
I think he was just reading my mind.
Yeah. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay, but it must be nice. Is to me, hey, that must be nice. It's all inflection, right?
To a certain point in what you're talking about, right?
Nice.
Right. I mean, well, it depends on what you're talking about,
right?
too.
So if I'm your friend, and I know you haven't had that, she didn't have a new kitchen, right? She had bought a used home. It wasn't brand new. She lived in it for a few years.
Right.
And now she's putting a new one. Yeah, that must be nice.
But saying it must be nice is saying that you can't do that. In my, a lot of times is saying I can't do it. How about, Don? That's awesome. That was a great job. It looks wonderful. Instead of, it must be, once again, to me, must be nice.
So it's it's inflection in the way that you have used the phrase for other people.
In some respects, I mean, inflection is everything in a word. When you're saying something to somebody, how you say it is going to change how it comes across.
Must be nice.
Right.
Not question mark.
Right. But when it comes across, even coming across as a text, I mean, and you have to take in the context of that person, right? And and how that type of person is.
So the passive aggressive and jealous is the state that you have used that term in the past.
The passive aggressive.
Yeah. So when you've said it, you've used it passive aggressively and in a jealous state.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then you think, because, hey, you know what? Nice shirt.
You like that?
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little cowboy, a little country today.
Flannel Friday, right?
Flannel Friday.
Right? But now in my mind, I'm like, I'd never be caught dead wearing that shirt. You look like a goon.
You're killing me.
But you said thank you.
That's right.
No, I would. This is actually, I would wear that shirt all day long.
This is that's who I am. Right out of the Wrangler outlet.
Yeah, that's who I am. I love it. But you understand what I'm saying? So the interesting thing is how we use our words is how we anticipate people are using them back. Now, if it's a close friend, and people, I just moved to a beautiful new home, right? And every time I pull up in the driveway, I say that. I'm humbled. I'm like,
to yourself?
Yeah. Wow, this is nice. You know what I'm saying?
This is nice, not must be nice.
I'm talking to myself.
Right.
Though, right? But if I have a friend that goes, wow, it must be nice. Yeah, thank you. It is. I'm like, I don't take that as a passive aggressive jealous statement, depending on the person.
Well, depending on the person and depending on how they say it to you. Mm-hmm. Oh, Kent, hey, must be nice, or dude, must be nice. You know what I mean? If you're saying it with a different inflection, it does change the meaning of it. Yeah. But at the root of the word and the statement, it is coming across as a jealousy thing. Like, boy, I wish I had that. Or, it must be nice to have that because I can't have that, which is bullshit. Because if you want something bad enough, you can get it. You just have to work for it, which is, you got your new beautiful house, right? You worked for that beautiful house. Sure. So when someone says it must be nice, it is nice. I work, as for you, work very hard 7 days a week. You're out there. I don't know if you do 7 days or not,
I
but
do. I don't
you know,
take a day off.
you're grinding, you're putting in the hours, you're putting in the time. And so you're rewarding yourself. So it is nice. That's why part of the reason you do what you do for a living or what you do for your family. And
right. And that's because you look at it as a reward.
The house,
whatever it is, somebody's saying it must be nice. You
generally,
you're looking at it as, you know what, I got this Mustang to reward myself for hitting a goal.
Okay.
Right. Or I bought this and the goal was to fix it up and make it a fast car because that's what I love to do.
Right.
And I did. And so you look at that as blood, sweat, tears, money, you look at the investment into it. And somebody from the outside is just looking at it like, whew, right. So you're like, is it in your mind? Then you're going, hey, wait a minute. You could do this too. So, and I've used the term, it must be nice, passive aggressively and in a jealous state. So I think you're coming at me that way. So screw you. I busted my ass for this. If you saw the blood, sweat, and tears that I had going into this, all the hours I spent away from my family, building this, all the this, that, and the third, then you're like, it is nice because I busted my ass for it. Right. But from the outside, I may be looking at it, go, man, must be nice,
right,
to have that, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not saying it directly to that person, and you're saying that to yourself, well, then you're almost questioning yourself, right? Going, well, wait, can I do that? Right? It must be nice. Can I do that? Is it something I can step up to the plate and do? Is it something I want to do?
Right.
But if a person makes that comment, they're deep down inside, they want to do that. You know what I mean? They feel like that's something that they should have.
Must be nice.
It must be nice, yeah.
Dream Home Experts popping in. Must be nice. Great show the last week too, by the way, to kick off the new season there at Dream Home Experts. Listen, here's the deal. The deal is this, I think, is that we as people find it very hard to take compliments. We
100%.
We can't, right? One thing that I had to learn in my late 20s, early 30s was how to say thank you. Hey, this is, you did great at this, right? And hey, I was just blessed to be, God was able to, and I had a good friend of mine go, all you gotta say is thanks. People have such a hard time accepting praise and compliments that we become very defensive.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that one. I'm one of those people that compliments. It's like,
right.
You think about what way did they say that, or why are they saying that? I don't deserve that.
Yeah,
it's like because you keep pushing yourself.
Yeah, so it's like the old proverb out there is, I waited all my life for God to give me a cake. Yet in my cupboard was flour, sugar, eggs,
right? Everything to make it, but
to make it. Right?
Yeah, right.
They
didn't want to put any effort in. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So
and that's why it becomes a passive aggressive statement.
Right.
Because they're not putting in the effort. They're looking at you. It really is jealousy in one of its greatest forms. When you're granted, it depends on the person and what they're saying, but most of the time when you hear it coming from somebody, it's jealousy, right? Like with the lady that Don's, even in the text, must be nice. Well, yeah, it's nice. It is, because this is what I wanted to do, right? I mean, I set my eyes on a goal. I worked my ass off and I was able to achieve it. And look, here it is. I don't think it's meant, at least for me, when I do something or people say that to me or I show something to people, it's not meant to be, in your face. Like, look what I've got. It's, hey, you know what? Hey, I've been busted. I bust my ass. So look, this is what's happening. So maybe it's going to encourage them, right? Going back to one of our other shows, maybe it's going to encourage them to step up to the plate. Everybody can do it. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. We can all do it. Some just have harder circumstances. Coach Papa.
Stop the love fest. Yeah, this ain't like the open mouth kissing you and Scott were doing.
Hey, whoa, we didn't open mouth kiss. I don't do that on the first day.
It was pretty soft. Shayna, good morning.
Morning,
missed the notification. Good morning, guys. Yeah, so it must be nice.
Yeah, it must be able to get up this late.
Right, sleep in. That's it. So here's the hard thing, especially with Americans, maybe just humans in general. The hard thing is we always want to keep up with the Joneses, right?
I don't want to keep up with you.
No, you're with. Don't step backwards.
But no, you're right. You
Right,
are right
so-
with the ones
so-
to keep up
so,
with the Joneses,
you know,
right? Yeah.
I've never been to Europe, so anybody who's been to Europe, or Gary, if you're out there listening to Singapore, chime in. But you know, Europe is incredible, but their roads are they don't have the Super Duty F-150, you know, kick-ass truck. They don't have 2,500 square foot palatial homes, right?
Yeah.
Their means are
They're very, very meager,
right.
and their road system is
Right.
Other than the Autobahn, though.
Right.
I've
No,
never
we
been
live,
on it.
we live in. I will still say we live in the greatest country in the world.
We do.
We
do.
But we keep getting bigger. Right. And for whatever reason, that comes across as success. Oh, you've got a Mercedes. Oh, you've got a lake house. Oh, you've got a this. You've got a that.
That's all surface.
Well, you got a lot of debt, maybe too. We don't look at that.
Well,
right.
and that right. That's people.
But the idea is, when somebody, I think, is saying, "Oh man, must be nice," they're going, "I wish I had that," and I'm not necessarily jealous, but I wish I had the means to have that, right? And because I like to compare myself with everybody because I'm insecure in myself.
But that's a typical human trait, though, comparing yourself.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so you look at it and go, all right, well, it is nice. I don't mean to be a dick, but look at everything let's look at the blood, sweat, and tears that I put into this.
Right.
You know, I didn't graduate college and step into a 5,000 square foot home.
Right.
Right. I didn't inherit a trust fund. That must be nice.
Probably not. I would think that, other than having money, that screws people up.
Right. Ted, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Yeah.
So I think, I think it must be nice. Instead of getting pissed off, you got to take it as a compliment. That means, you know what? You've made it. You've done it. Right. And not that you're doing it for somebody else's praise or acknowledgement.
Right. But you are getting that recognition, which should make you feel good. Right.
So,
I mean, because that's part of the reason we do things is, for me, I do things to help people, but to also make me feel good about the track that I'm taking or the path that I'm running.
So you give tirelessly and selflessly to this community.
We try. We do the best we can. Yeah.
You and your family absolutely do. Must be nice. Now, how does that make you feel?
Actually, it made my freaking head tingle there when you said that, because it could go two different ways. But it is nice because that, for me, that is something that I've always wanted to do, is be able to give back to people that want to be, let's just say, in your position.
Must be nice to be able to do that.
It is nice. It is nice. It makes me feel wonderful. Coach Pop is in, but it makes me feel great when I'm able to donate to this charity or to that charity or help people out, because that's just how I was raised. My parents raised me to love human man and to help out when you can. You have a special set of gifts, share them with people.
Okay.
And so gifts aren't.
Why does that not piss you off? But when I say, I look at your truck and go, must be nice.
No,
that pisses you off.
Well, it depends. Well,
right.
Yeah, I see. It's going with the physical versus like monetary item. It doesn't so much piss me off. It really makes me think differently when I'm giving back to people. It must be nice. Right. It is nice because this is something that I've seen that the world needs, is more people to share and want to give and give back, whether it's their time, money, what have you. The truck, it is nice because I work my ass off. I've never had a new vehicle in my life, dude. Never. So
is that a new vehicle?
Well, it's a new one. I bought it with 75,000. So
it's not new,
right? So, but to me, it's new, right? So, and people look at it, and I tell them, it's like, it must be nice. Well, you know what? Once again, it comes down to the working hard. So why does it, when you said that comment to me, does it, kind of strike me differently? Because it almost, I'm happy because this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I'm almost tearing up right now because the world be so much a better place, and it doesn't have to be money. Just, it must be nice to give back. Give your time. You don't have to give money. Give time, because we give a lot of time.
What's Robert say there?
I think subconsciously it's just easier for us human beings to be passive about something or say that we'll make changes, but then never do. But I think the must be nice mentality is part of what keeps us from succeeding 100%. And that's 100%. And that's one of the things that, that I think of when I hear people saying that, you're coming up with that jealous perspective, which can lead to that person becoming unsatisfied with their life, taking a look at their life. When they say that must be nice, well, it is nice. I work hard, but if you work hard, you can get a nicer vehicle too. People don't realize that my vehicle's old, right? I keep it clean. I keep it in good shape, but if you start comparing yourself, if you're comparing yourself to the Joneses, you're never going to be happy, because comparison is a thief of joy.
Well, I cut my hair off for so many years trying to keep up with the Jones, but
it didn't work for you, Coach.
It didn't work out at all.
You know what? You look
he
good.
Still identifies.
You look good with them silver locks. Yeah,
he does.
I do identify as a ball guy. But what is it about? We have no problem. There's somebody given, but when we get a request over the internet and it says, "Hey, I could use some help. Would you send me some money?" Why don't we send them money?
Because most of the times it's a scam.
Right? And even when it's not, we think it is.
And try to keep things locally.
Wait, you guys don't?
Yeah. No. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you? Must be nice to give your money away for free.
But not 600. It's got to be under 600.
But no, I don't do that.
Well, keep going. Where were you going with that?
Well, my thought is, we give to the things that we think that align with us, but are those the things where the real need is? How do you know who to give to? How do you know what to give? How do you know how much to give? Where does that come from?
Depends on you and what's important to you and what you believe. It will help better people. Yeah. I mean,
so Shane, I don't know where you're going with that, but we'll get back to that. But it's not in the having as much as it is needing of it. I love nice things for me, not for anyone else. I don't care if you know the brand, quote unquote, and I don't care where it comes from. That's not easy for some.
Well, and that's good. I mean, that's good, Shana, because you got that. Obviously, you have a very good self-confidence and not worrying about other people and, the keeping up with the Joneses thing. But unfortunately, majority of the people are worried about keeping up with the Joneses. They're putting on a good face or putting on the, the fake Nikes or what have you to, put off a different persona.
Yeah. And,
when the must be nice comment comes into there too, it just solidifies more the fact that they probably are, jealous, right? And when they're comparing themselves, it's making them feel like their life sucks with they're doing it if they're coming from that mindset, right? So, it must be nice. So now it's lowering them, and putting them in a completely different state, not being satisfied with your life. You're living. You should be happy just that alone.
Keith out there, Dream Home experts say people that judge you over quote unquote stuff you have, I walk away from them. Not worth my time. Piss off and stop being jealous.
That's a good comment. Not a lot of people can do that, but
okay. So I will say that y'all have been receiving that message improperly.
Which
it must be nice.
It must be nice
improperly. Yep.
Probably.
You're hearing it, and instead of hearing for what's being said, you are reflecting back on yourself and getting angry because they are quote unquote passive aggressive.
Right.
Okay. So here's what I'm talking about. We're on the Titanic and I'm out there floating on a piece of wood and you're struggling for your life and you say, man, must be nice.
Hell yeah, it is. I'm the one that I found the piece of wood and climbed up on it.
Do you paddle away? Or is that it must be nice is really a cry for help?
Well, it's definitely a cry for help.
But then why do you get pissed? If you saw somebody,
that's a totally different scenario. Whoa. That's a totally different scenario on sitting out there. That's saving somebody else's life.
Okay, so it must be.
Am I saving someone else's life by talking about my truck?
It must be nice. I don't know how to get it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how to get there.
That's a different.
Don't you
want
to give a hand up?
Right. So there's.
But you get pissed. You're like, listen, you.
Depends on the person.
Piece of shit. Right?
Depends on the person, right?
I don't know, does
It does. 100% for me. It depends on the person and how they say it. Right?
So now you're judging
Coming
people on whether
you-
they're worth saving or not.
Well, right. And is it worth my time? But like let's just say you come up to me and I don't really know you and be like, look at the truck. Oh, dude, must be nice, you know? Well, okay, it is. But I mean, you don't even know me. You don't know what I do, anything
Well,
about
I'm
me, but you're
saying-
going to come up and say that. So that does kind of make me mad because that person's not thinking about what they say or how that's coming, you know, what their meaning of what their statement really is. But instead of, oh man, I love your truck, right? So if they say it, man, I love your truck, it must be nice to have that thing. Yes, or just, oh, it must be nice.
Listen, you of all people, and because you don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah.
You of all people, right? Never ask. You don't know how to ask for help, right? You're like, listen, I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna get it done. I'll find a way to get it done. But you're not gonna go out there. But you're the guy who will stop by somebody's house. You see him in the yard doing something and lend a hand.
Isn't that the way the world's supposed to work?
I believe so. But people don't know how to ask for help.
Right.
Oh, you're at
Or they're afraid.
you're at Casey's filling
Right.
up, right? And obviously, then Casey's feel free to send us a check here. And play on
216 the ground.
The ground is and oh man, look at that beautiful truck. It must be nice. What if the guy said, beautiful truck. I've always wanted one. I don't know how to get one. How did you do it?
Oh, I would just fall right into that
But
trap.
maybe that's what they're saying. Must be nice. Oh,
Some
you're telling me
people
you
do.
don't know how to get there.
Right. Well,
Let's
no,
talk.
but some people do, and I will take my time because I love that when somebody's saying
When
like
they come out directly.
when they come directly. Well, right.
Maybe
well, but
it must be
depending on
nice
the
as a
person,
cry for help.
in certain circumstances, it absolutely is. But most of the time, I feel, and this is me, the way the comments that come out to me is it is a jealousy thing because they're comparing me to their life. You can't compare me to your life, right? You can't compare mine to yours because we're totally different. You know, you just can't.
Yeah.
And it's going to mess with you every time. And I find it happens to me too, Kent. I mean, I'll be looking at somebody and, you know, be like, oh my God, you know, and I'll think in the back of my head, must be nice, you know, driving by a big, beautiful house that I really want that I'm not going to buy because it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, I think about that, you know, and I'll say it into my head. And I've said it to people before, not realizing it, you know, I think, but for me, must be nice is actually a challenge. When I say it, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Right? Like it must be nice. And then I start thinking, what do I need to get there if I want to get to that point?
Yeah.
I love, as you know, and you do, and we at this show, we're about the daily dose of encouragement, right? And encouraging people to have that courage to step out of their comfort zone and to do something. So when somebody comes up to me and actually, because I do have people that have come to me and talked to me and asked me and had comments similar to that, I love it. That's when I feel my best. You know, like I feel like I'm really giving back. I can give money all day long. And, you know, I don't know specifically where it's going to go, but when I'm actually talking to a person and hoping to enrich their lives and enrich their mental capacity and give them a step closer to something they want to do, there's nothing better because that person's going to go home happy. You know what I mean? And be good to their family, hopefully.
Listen, it must be nice to have 1,000 subscribers to our YouTube page. So if you're out there listening right now and you're catching these airwaves, go to www.216net, click on the YouTube icon, rip over to our YouTube page and like and subscribe. Our goal this year is to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're at 202. Please, maybe the 216th subscriber will get something.
We'll do like a prize,
something fancy. But hey, it must be nice to have 1,000 subscribers to your YouTube page. Be one of those 1,000 subscribers here at 216net. Ted says, one thing we forget in this country is, regardless of people's status, we all have to work to be where we are, and we all are still all human. Choosing to work together to help our community build, to provide a better life for everyone, providing resources that help people improve is what is most important, not how much money we have or keeping up our status appearance. You're right, and that, you know, it must be nice to be able to think that way.
That is nice to think that way. You know, some people don't think that way, you know, because they've been programmed over the years to, you know, to be jealous or passive aggressive when they see something they want instead of, going for it.
And Shanna says, yep. Well, why can't must be nice as a positive? Well, I agree with Scott. Depends on the vibe it's delivered with.
I think Kent's been drinking this morning.
Maybe it's it's
Grounds and Hounds
Madagascar vanilla coffee.
Yeah.
So but when it's a text, it's the vibe that you have in your soul when you read it.
It's that too, but it's also from the person it's coming from. Right. Because we all have those people that we have the positive ones that are always happy and upbeat, even though, you know what I mean? And then you've got the ones that are just passive aggressive.
Well, then why do you get rid of them? Why do you allow that into your life?
I don't know. It's not, I mean, I'm not from Don's standpoint.
Right.
I mean, the people that say it to me are in my life that I don't think they really mean it as a passive aggressive. It's kind of one of those things that, it must be nice. And then we kind of banter back and forth with each other. And, it is nice. And, then it's one of those challenges between friends, right. Yeah, it is nice. What's the next step? Where are we going next? What are we going to do?
Right.
But when it comes across as a text and she got offended, I'm sure that came from somebody that was probably a jealous type person, that those comments, because if you say to me, must be nice, I think it's coming more from a state of love, because majority of our interactions are on the good, positive, beneficial side, right? Like you are truly happy for me, let's say, because I have my truck, right? Must be nice. Yeah, it's great. I love it. I work hard. So for me, when it comes from you, even if it came in a text, because you can't do, really do emotion through a text other than if you put an emoji on there, right? But I know, so it's the person and how they are. And most people that are going to come off as the negative side of the passive aggressive are usually more toxic.
Yeah.
Right. But it's an air of jealousy. It really comes down to that. And a lot of people these days, I feel, right? Because when you're saying that, instead of saying, hey, great job, it must be nice, it forms the entire conversation into a different light. Right. Because if I tell you, oh God, Kent, great job. You did this. I love your house. It's great. Right. You worked hard for it, instead of, oh, Kent, hey, look at your house. It's a big house. It must be nice. Implies one thing, that they can't do that either. Like when they said, oh, it must be nice, that person's almost implying that, well, I can't do it. I
could hire a maid.
You need a maid?
Yeah, no.
You should see my house. You can see my house.
Right. So
you need a maid?
Yeah. Well, could we loop out there? There we go. We'll just mute you until you can figure out to follow the directions and not follow us on Facebook and on the URL. Thank you, Coach. All right, let us know. Is this your first time on air, sir?
Yeah.
My internet died.
Nice. Listen, here's the deal. If you take it must be nice as passive aggressive, it's the way you were raised. Understand what I'm saying is
bullshit.
It is absolutely the way you were raised, because you're thinking that person is saying you can't have nice things. It must be nice. So somewhere in your upbringing, it was, oh, look at that guy. You don't need a Mercedes. Why would you spend your money on a Mercedes? Hey, you don't need a 2,500 square foot home when the 1,000 square foot is just fine. You don't. So in your programming somewhere, you are feeling guilty that you have nice things.
Nah, bullshit.
Absolutely.
Bullshit.
Absolutely.
No.
Because
I'll disagree with that one all day long. Is that why you feel it comes from you?
Why?
I don't think it had anything to do with my upbringing. And, I can't say anything, but I come from a very humble family. We came up, mom and dad didn't have a whole ton until kids were, I wasn't going into college. And that's when dad really just started hitting his stride. Right. And they did awesome for themselves. Growing up, to me, though, it wasn't about things. I was just always a kid out playing, enjoying myself with my friends in the fields. And I would see other people like having a motorcycle or a four-wheeler or a nice old car or something like that. And I think to myself, I want to have that someday, because that looks fun, right? That looks like something I'd enjoy. Or going skiing. Well, in order to do those things, what do you have to do? It's a 4-letter word that a lot of people don't like to use these days.
Fuck.
Well, that too. Yeah, that too. Hey, sorry for all you old people that don't like to hear that type of language, but no, it's work. Work. Right. You were close. You had a K, right?
It was either that or Kent.
Kent. But work, right? And that was something that was instilled in me as a child. right? Like work. I mean, like from the youngest point I could think of, I had my newspaper route. That was my first job. Come hell or high water, I was out there delivering papers. My mom, God bless her, would not let me get away with it. I don't care if it's cold out. It's your job. Go do it. Right. Mm-hmm. You did it for a reason. You take care of what you've done. Right.
Same way.
And so I did that, and it afforded me to buy certain things or do certain things. Mm-hmm. And it just steamrolled. Right. Oh, wow. I work hard. I get this. I can buy that if I want it, if I choose to buy it. It's because it's my choice if I do something right. So, and it's that person's choice, that's making that must be nice comment to you to say that to you. They're choosing to say that to you.
You're
for whatever
choosing
reason.
to receive it how you receive it, though. So that's what I'm saying. In your programming somewhere, you said, wait a second. Oh, I'm not supposed to.
Once again, coming from who it's coming from.
Very humbled. I was very humbled.
Coming from who it comes from.
We were, we didn't drive the Mercedes. We ate porridge next to the
we had a really nice Ford Country Squire wagon, a Volkswagen Beetle,
So,
but it comes down to the person and the context and how they say it.
Why do you want to reflect it on somebody else the way you receive it?
It has nothing to do with what they say. It has everything to do with how you receive.
There you go. I like what
that's exactly what Ken's saying, and I don't like to agree with him very often.
So you're telling me if someone comes up to you and has that snotty attitude, be like, "Oh, it must be nice."
That's how you receive it. What if they have a speech impediment and it just sounds like that to you? But your perception takes you places that we should never go.
I don't want your help, but I need it.
Right?
Oh. Fuck you, you idiot. I don't like to. I work hard for this. I don't want to help you.
Never said that one.
I understand. Right. That's maybe.
So, I mean,
you always want to go back into the folds of the brain and the psychology. And I'm trying to come at you with this saying, this is their reach for help, man.
Right.
I love what you have. Must be nice. How do I get it?
Right.
Well, you didn't say that. Well, I did, but you didn't take it that way. You said I was being jealous and passive aggressive.
Well, that's where I will agree with you guys on it's how I take. So on the person, it's the person, how they say it, and the situation in which you're in, right? So you have to look at it from a bunch of different standpoints.
And it all goes back to your upbringing.
Okay, it goes back to my upbringing. But when somebody says something to me in more of a shitty statement, right? Like, yeah, it must be nice. They might be asking for help. I might not catch it at that point because how I decipher what they said and how they said it to me at that point is saying to me, basically fuck off. I don't want to listen to you because it is jealousy.
Have you ever said something and go, wow, that was my dad?
Dad, if you're listening, yeah, you got into me.
Right?
It's inbred. It's inbred.
Oh, now we're cracking the shell. So that piece is inbred. But the programming, no, I wasn't programmed. I'll disagree wholeheartedly.
I don't think I was programmed to, as far as it must be nice and how to take it, because that wasn't something my parents ever pushed. My parents always pushed love up people, do your best, help others if you can. Now, am I missing some of the missing some of the cues when people say that to me?
Let's do this and let me prove to you exactly the programming.
All right, go ahead and prove that programming. You gonna read that or am I?
Anybody? Right?
You gonna read that or am I?
So literally, if we rewind the tape, the exact same words came out of your mouth not 2 seconds before. This gentleman here, Robert Giles, says, I don't mean to generalize, but the statement, it must be nice, basically is a passive-aggressive phrase used by jealous people who see themselves as victims.
So he read the same Google page that I did then. Well, because I actually spent a decent amount of time researching this, because it's one of those things that, you don't think about until that statement comes. And then, like when Don brought it up, I didn't even think about how much, that you could really look into that statement. Not so much, it's just how much you could look into it and how much you could really take from it. One person is just a jealous and they're a prick and you can't do anything about it. The other person might be absolutely asking for, oh my God, I need some help. Show me how to get there. Mm-hmm. What did you do? I'm open all day long for that. I will talk to people all day long, but it's in the inflection of how they say
How is a text an inflection?
I was talking about me. I'm not talking about Don.
I'm just saying.
A text is really hard, but then you have to look at the person it comes from.
Right.
Well, look at Dawn. Do you think Dawn? I mean, you saw how she took that comment. It really bothered her. So I mean, you're saying it's her upbringing?
Shayna's like, seriously, Kent, communication is so much more than verbal. I'm Team Scott all day.
Thank you, Shane. Finally got Shane on my side.
And now I'm asking Shayna why she's yelling at me. I do. Why do you have that inflection, Shayna? Jeez, Louise.
Oh my God.
It must be nice.
It must be nice.
Right? Oh, hey, I don't listen. Shayna and I have never spent a minute together personally, right? Virtually, we hang out all the time,
right?
And I don't know why she's using that tone with me, Scott.
She doesn't like you.
I think I'm gonna block her.
She did.
I think.
I think because she's totally understanding from my end. On a text, you can't see it, but in person, just literally when you're talking to somebody. If you're just watching their facial expressions, you can kind of get a pretty damn good feel of where this statement is coming from, right? A point of jealousy or a point of teach me, right? Like when you look,
must be nice.
It must be.
So,
Coach, you need to change your background. That must be nice.
Or put on a coat like you're standing outside.
Yeah.
So it's that time. We of course
we need
here
to rate
on the grounds now. Our New Year's resolution is that we're going to have different coffee. So if you're a coffee producer, or you have coffee, feel free to send it to us here.
We'll go ahead and rate it.
Yep.
Drink it.
We will drink it. We will taste it. We'll give you a puck rating.
Right,
because for those
not
who
a fuck
don't know,
rating, a puck rating.
Yeah, puck, P-U-C-K. Because those who don't know, that's what's left after a good espresso. Is the grounds are in a puck.
They're in a puck after they press it down, right?
So this is
Grounds and Hounds. And which one is this? Madagascar Vanilla.
Madagascar Vanilla.
Which by the way, we carry at Reese's. We sell that not exclusively, but we sell that at Reese's Bakery and Pautique over at 1313 Riverside Drive in McHenry. We have all different kinds of flavors, guys, and portions of the sale do help out with the animal world.
Yep, which must be nice. Which is
I don't know. Let me try it.
Right. So this first of all, the aroma on this is absolutely fantastic. The acidity level is very, very low. It's a very smooth drinking coffee. It's not too powerful. Good morning, Mary Shep. And the aroma is, you can smell the vanilla, but the vanilla is
not overpowering.
It's not overpowering like a gas station French vanilla type thing.
Right, yeah, where they just pouring more chemicals than
And this is just straight black. There's nothing added, right? I would give this a 5 out of 5 pucks. This is a very, very good tasting coffee.
I would have thought you would have got higher on that one, honestly.
Well, it's 5 out of 5.
Oh, 5 out of 5. 5 out of 10. Oh. When did we get down to?
Are we going to 10?
I thought we were always doing 10.
All right, if we're 10 pucks, it's 10.
Oh, okay. You're confusing me there, sir.
This is really, really a good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. I would give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd probably go 7.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 7, 8. I'm not as big a connoisseur. For people who don't know, Kent's past life was he did own Planet Coffee.
I did, yeah.
And so he does know what he's talking about. So it's a really good coffee, guys. If you want, stop on down to Reese's Bakery and Pautique and try it out. And
you want good coffee for a good cause? Stop in to Reese's Bakery and Pautique.
Yeah,
and
it must be nice to have a good cup of coffee right now.
Grounds brought to you by the Grounds.
Yeah. Right by the grounds, absolutely.
Yeah.
There.
Good morning, Mary.
Will there be any left for Sunday morning? Yes, I will. We've got.
We got a couple brews left.
I'll brew it up for as long as Coach doesn't come in and drink.
Coach isn't allowed in the studio anymore.
He just comes in and starts drinking all of our. We got like coffee, but I didn't put any rules in, and he came in and he did our Jamaican Me Crazy coffee, which was delicious as well. But we can't.
By the way, yes, it was.
So you're saying how I take it, right? So, and you're kind of getting I'm in that one, and you're right to a certain point. So, I mean, people who say that may also be having they could be having a difficult time, and that's where if I'm reading it right, that's where you need to show compassion, right? Because that person may really want to deep down in their heart have that, they just don't know any other way to say that to me. Because 99, and I don't. You just said it earlier. I don't come out to people and say I need help.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I just do it. I was born and raised.
Right.
Just freaking do it. Right.
Well, you always ask me. You're like, "Hey, what you got going on this week? And you need help?" No, I'm good.
That's because I love you, man.
Right, but I don't ask for it.
And you never call me. I don't get invites to your house.
But
it must be nice to just use me like that,
listen,
sir.
Listen, if I were to invite anybody over to our house because we're still in boxes, it must be nice to be homeless, right? Because my wife would kick my ass and bring people over here with our house looking like this.
Tell us the home inspector. He can come over and help. He's an organizer.
No, I would not, for the love of God, do that. Shayna says, "Hey, have you ever read a situation horribly wrong? Why does that happen?"
Well, of course, we're human. Of course, I've read a situations wrong probably twice a day.
But it goes back to your upbringing, Scott.
No.
Oh, Coach, just click off. It has nothing to do with my upbringing.
Have you ever read a situation horribly wrong?
Absolutely, it does.
Tuned in on a Friday morning,
right? I mean, asking that. I mean, that question is a good question, but we're human. It's the human condition. Of course, we fuck things up. We have issues, right? I mean, how are you not? I'm going to read situations wrong. It's just like you and your spouse. Do you read your spouse wrong? Sometimes, of course you do. It's just
always.
So it's going to come down to a couple factors, and yes, I'm going to agree with you guys on this one. It comes down to how I'm taking it, but it also comes down to how that person pushes it onto you, right? How you take it also comes to how they present it. If someone presents something to you in a jealous, passive aggressive format, and you're in a shitty mood, how else are you going to take it? Or if you've had just some shit going on in your mind, or you're not paying attention to them so greatly, because you hear that and it's like, yeah, whatever. You just brush it off.
Okay.
What are you going to
do? Everybody out there who's listening and is on social media and commenting, when somebody says it must be nice, please type in your response to that.
Oh, yeah, we'd love it. Please, everyone, type in your response. What you think immediately. Don't think about it, but what immediately comes to your head.
So we're going to use...
Do we have to make a statement so they can...
We'll use Dawn's situation.
So you're an individual that just completely redid your kitchen, and it's absolutely stunningly beautiful.
Stunningly beautiful.
And you have somebody... Are we saying it to them, or are they texting it, or what? Is it in person? In person?
In person.
Oh, in person. So somebody comes up to you and says, yeah, hey...
Look at this, and they go,
"Hey, Coach, must be nice."
Must be nice,
right? So are they saying it? Hey, Coach, it must be nice, or Hey, Coach, must be nice.
Yeah,
you hear the difference in my voice?
Tell me, write it down, and tell me what it is.
I'm going to give you 3 different ways. Here's my voice coaching, right?
Yeah,
must be nice. Must be nice. Hey, Coach, must be nice.
Must be nice.
3 of those different ways, different inflections, 3 different meanings. At least that would have come across to me.
Right. Mary says, "It is, thanks." Or, "It is, thank."
Right.
It is, thanks. Mr. Stewart says, "Thank you. It is."
I like that one.
Nate says, "It must be nice to be a big fish in a little pond."
Wait. We're just talking about a kitchen.
Right. Ted says, "It is. Do you want to know how
leaky pipes
there?" All right. Now, is that how you would really respond? What Tim took my line.
Thank you. It is.
Great minds, Mary. Great minds.
To live near your grandkids. It must be nice.
Oh, you're okay. Shayna's going a separate direction. Okay. Now, how do you respond?
What do you
Shayna?
respond?
It's all right. So on that kitchen thing, I guess I got to remember. I'm like, whoa, my brain jumps 20 different ways.
No, we hadn't noticed.
We're in person in the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
I respond, yeah, it is. Thanks. I've been working my ass off for this.
Thanks. All right.
So whatever. I would.
Right.
For me, I'm a talker, so I would probably say, yeah, it's taken me 7 months to get to this point, or something along those lines.
So now,
isn't that a passive aggressive response?
Yes, thank you. That's where I was going.
You caught me. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to catch that one, Coach.
And that's what I was going to say. Everybody's like, "It is, thanks."
Right.
Again,
right.
What's in your mind as you're saying those words, right?
And it's how they come, and it's how their comment started. So it's a banter back and forth with that, right? So in the situation plays. And so I'm glad you caught that, because I threw that comment out there for a reason. I wasn't sure if you guys are going to pick up on that one or not, right? So I'm actually continuing the passive aggressiveness by my answer, right?
Correct.
Instead of saying, "God, it is. You could do it too if you want," or "We could do it." Like, so for me, I would have been like, "It is. Hey, you want to do your kitchen? I'll help you." Because that's, me, I'm always asking people if they want help. That gets me more. That's my watch. Yeah. That gets me in more trouble with my wife than anything. She's like, "You're always helping other people. Yeah. What about me?" I'm like, or not what about me, but what about us? Like, really?
So
that must be nice.
I think the way that I normally respond to that question is, why would you say that?
My answer?
No, If somebody says to me,
gotcha.
Oh, it must be nice. My typical response is, why would you say that?
That's a good one. And what do you normally get?
Nothing.
Because they probably don't know why they said it, because it was a natural reflex, or it's like a natural unthought process, right there. Because maybe that person is a jealous person, or a keeping up with the Joneses, quote unquote, right? And they don't even realize that they're coming off as an asshole.
Correct.
Right. So you're going, well, what? Huh?
Yeah. Why would you say that?
Why would you say that? So what you're doing is you're opening it up to them to maybe explain why they said that. So if you asked that to me, you said, why did you say that? I'd be like, dude, because I'm jealous. Oh. I love your kitchen. I want this. And that's when Kent's going to say,
fuck off, you idiot. No, that's what I'd say. Cool. Let's figure out how to do it.
Right.
Alice,
if I did it, you
can
do it.
come over and tear the walls out, whatever.
Right. Yeah. If I did it, you can do it. Right. That's what I tell people, because I'm not a smart man.
Yeah.
You know,
you're brilliant.
All right.
You're
Thank
brilliant.
you. I don't feel that I'm a very hard worker. I get all of my shit through working hard and through learning through other people. Right. I pick my shit up by watching.
School of hard knocks.
School more than you'll ever know, man.
Right.
You know, and I tell people, you have no idea what my life is like every day.
Right.
You know, we were just talking about that yesterday because we're redoing the theater. You got to see the pictures, by the way.
Must be nice.
It's gonna be beautiful. Hey, we're gonna have. We've already got some crazy bands.
We gotta get a new name.
No, it's getting so much good review, man.
The Vixen is?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we changed the logo. I mean, there's still those haters out there that are going to mess with us, but dude, we're going to have 300 seat capacity, but I don't need to get onto that. But so it's all in the conversation. It's all in back and forth.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So each situation is a little bit different, but the comment itself, right, generally comes across as a passive aggressive, jealous type statement. Right. If you look at it, because I mean, saying not, it must be nice, is saying, I really want that, and saying, Kent, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Which is what I would prefer. Hey, well, with Dawn, his kitchen is absolutely beautiful. How do I do it? Or what did it cost? How long did it take you? Instead, it must be nice. There's no way to really answer that. That's not a dickish answer. Right.
Right.
I mean, if, because my response is yes, it
dickish
is.
A word?
I've worked hard for it. What's that?
Is dickish a word?
Yeah.
It is now.
It is now, I guess.
I mean, they've got a show called Blackish, so why couldn't it be dickish? But Nate Meadows says, if Kent is in a bad mood, just get him a Reese's fast break, because he's acting like what's her name? Betty White, right?
Yeah.
He says.
Right.
Ted Legal says, my dad, who was wealthy, always responded with the response I gave, because he was able to hire people with the correct answer, helping him put more money in his pocket in the long run.
Yeah, but not everybody's an employer.
Right.
Right. So
not everybody wants to be an employer.
Your dad obviously very successful, very brilliant. Right. So Deion Sanders. If you guys remember Deion Sanders, Neon Deion, right? The Cowboys. He gives back crazy. The Cowboys.
Back,
He now is the head coach at Jackson State University.
Yeah, he just got that.
And
he was actually, people don't even know, he was like a coach at a couple high schools and grade schools for a while.
So,
and he had a ton of cash, and he was giving back.
Right. So,
right, which is what we should all do.
Exactly.
Regardless of how much cash you have,
somebody kind of brought this up to him kind of in this way, and he goes, listen, man. He goes, you see me sitting here in front of this microphone today as the head coach of Jackson State. What you didn't see was me funding Pop Warner, for years and sending kids to school for years with my own money, with my own time, donating my own time.
Giving back must be nice.
And you didn't see all the hours that I spent at the high school level to learn how to coach. You did, so
right,
he goes,
because
so
people don't know people don't know the story behind most people's success.
So he says, what you see is Coach Sanders right here. You saw Neon Deion.
Right.
So you think because of that persona, I ended up here. Right. Because you didn't see the hard work it took to get here.
And not right. Yeah. And that's the thing, is a lot of people don't see that. They just right away, it's an assumption. They assume right away that it was easy and that it was kind of, I don't want to say given to you, but and when they're saying it, depending once again on their emphasis on their syllables, right?
Yep.
how it's coming across to you. I mean, that's everything. I mean, they don't realize how many hours, especially just even sports guys in general, the amount of hours they put in to get where they're at and the abuse that they put on their body. This guy, God bless him, is done that, made his money, hopefully saved some of it because most of those guys blow all their cash. But now he's giving back because maybe it was inbred in his DNA, as you and Coach are giving me busting my balls about, right? Maybe it was in his DNA raising up that this is what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
So
I think, the it must be nice to me is a cry for help.
Is it?
I think that's I think that's neat that you got that. And I wish I had it. How do I get it? Right. And
it can be.
And
absolutely.
if I take it as passive aggressive, my response is also passive aggressive back. 90%
you get back,
of the time.
what is it? What's the old saying? You get back out. You get back what you put out.
I am
right?
rubber and you are glue. What you
right,
say
but you get back.
Right,
but what you get back from people generally is what you put out. If you put
That's
out a negative vibe,
That's
you're going to get a negative vibe back. So if you come at me with a negative, it must be nice. You're going to get a negative. It sure is from me.
Yeah.
Like go screw yourself. I mean,
now
like here, look at Tim and his beautiful picture. Must be nice to have such a big, beautiful house, Tim, with that beautiful fireplace back there,
a grand piano.
You just opened up a whole can of worms in the last 5 minutes of the show.
We like that.
What kind of worms?
What kind of worms?
This because somebody comes at me with a negative vibe. I'm not coming back in a negative vibe back to them. That's part of the problem with what's going on with this whole world. This whole conflict is based on, oh man, life sucks. And I'm like, yeah, my life really sucks and everything goes down. Somebody comes up to me and life sucks. I go, what's wrong?
Well, you're
what can we
right.
do about it?
Well, Coach. So, and you're right with that comment, but
I laugh because I know him, right?
Right.
One of my dearest friends. So the thing is though, Coach, you have spent millions of hours studying how to respond that way.
Right. I was going to say that's part of your coaching background and your learning.
Yeah.
Coach, think about this one. Most people don't come from, and I don't know your background that well, right? And obviously you believe in God and you put out there and you send your message, your positive attitude. You've honed that skill, right? You've not, and I don't, like I say, I haven't known you that long, but you haven't always been that way. It's something you've learned, right? It's something that
I'm pretty sure I've always been this way.
You've always been Mr. Positive, rah, 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 and everything's the best in the world.
So Tim, when you were 15 years old on the tractor, who were you listening to?
Right.
Mostly, Paul Harvey.
Paul Harvey, Zig Ziglar, right?
Exactly. So you surrounded yourself with that. You didn't have as much distraction.
Made it your
as
life
kids.
work,
right. You made it your life's work. You didn't have as much crazy distraction as a lot of these people do today, right? I mean, the other day I was listening to your and the two bald guys and Mike, which he just shows up everywhere. He's like Waldo. He just ends up popping up everywhere. But you had that. I can't think of his name. Was he a pastor maybe? That went on for like a 10-minute introduction to his.
Dr. Breakthrough. He's actually going to be on Bridging Civil Tension.
That guy. I mean,
stick around.
I felt almost at first like I was freaking in like a rap.
Oh, he's incredible.
But I thought I was like in a wrap off type of thing where you could just go the longest with your positive statements and the life is great. Yep. But you know what? I could in my mind, I think, oh my God, that guy has had just the shittiest fucking life because now I think like went from this to this because the way he's so positive and so crazy that his life, and this is how I took it, and I could be wrong, but that he came from just a shitty, messed up life.
You've been tarred and feathered as a kid.
Right.
Literally.
So, okay. Literally. So I'm not wrong. Right. So I can read people, and this was on the internet. So I can read people pretty well. So when somebody says something to me, it must be nice. And I come back with my comment, Coach, I'm right. I feel I'm justified. I feel that is,
So yeah, so
it must be nice to be so justified.
I'd like to come from a more positive end, right?
Yeah. Dr. Breakthrough taught history in college.
Right. But that guy was he was infectious. You can't be around somebody like him and not actually, I mean, just the infection that he gave to me. And I was just like, holy cow, 5 minutes of listening to rip rap and throw his thing out there. But, you were talking about we all have the basic human stuff inside of us jealousy is I think jealousy actually is a natural human response, right? And can be exacerbated by how you're brought up, but we all have it. And so a lot of people's first thoughts when it's must be nice is jealousy. Listen, and think about it.
Listen,
I'm I'm listening. Hold on.
That response, it must be nice. Yes, number one, a cry for help, perhaps, or an ask for help without saying help, but also comes from a place where I don't have that. I don't think I will ever have that, and I wish I did.
Right.
Case in point, must be nice to be 6'9" and be able to jump over a basket. Because if I could do that, I would have played in the NBA, which was my childhood dream, to play in the NBA. Then I realized I was 5'10" and couldn't jump over the basket.
But in your mind, you could be 6'9".
Right. So it must.
And that's where it all starts.
It
right?
must be nice to be able to play as well
Look
as
at
Michael
what was
Jordan.
it, Spud Webb?
Right.
Look at those guys.
Did you just make a Jordan reference?
What's that?
Did you just make a Michael Jordan reference?
Yeah, he was a good player.
But it's a lot of it. And here's the thing with when people say this, the jealousy and stuff like that, it does start in your brain, right? Oh, we got a comment here. Let's see.
Last comment. Then we got to run.
Show. Yeah. Envy means discontented longing for someone else's advantages. Jealousy means unpleasant suspicion or apprehension of rivalship, right? Which envy is most often used to refer to a covetous feeling toward another person's attributes, possessions, or stature in life. Many people use jealous to mean the same thing.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
I like that guy. Who is that guy?
I don't know, but
he must have raised a couple good kids.
Have meaning.
You came from good stock, Scott. That was hard to say.
Yeah, I can't thank the universe enough for giving me the parents I have, because my parents are absolutely amazing. I hope they're really enjoying themselves too. They're down actually in Florida until the end of the month with my two other wonderful, beautiful people that I love more than anything in this world, Bonnie and Kenny. My Aunt Bonnie and Kenny, my mom's, I think she's younger sister. Just great people. But I love you all. Thanks everyone for stopping in today. And you know what? Just like everything we believe here at 216 The Net DDOE, our daily dose of encouragement. Go out there, guys. Show love, compassion. Do what you want to do. Don't let someone limit you, because we are our own worst enemy and limit ourselves. If you think something must be nice, figure out why you said it and change it, because you are the only one that can change it. Not me, not Kent. We can help you. We can make you think a little bit differently, because God knows we do that every week here on the ground.
Makes me think.
So, guys, we love you all. Have a great weekend.
Thanks,
we are blessed to have us on here.
Listen, stick around, because at 9, the new season of Bridging Civil Tension, a new look, a new feel. Dr. Breakthrough is going to be on there. The topic is, are we erasing history, rewriting history, or were things just omitted? Come back.
They're trying to hide it,
because it's going to be good.
Yeah. Get caught in the net.
Busy day here, 216 The Net. Thanks for getting stuck in the net, everybody. Coach, thanks for being on. Ted, Mary, Shayna, as always, a lot of love coming to you. And Ted, excited to get you home. So, everybody, be good to each other. We'll see you.
Must be nice. We're out.
Maybe.
But if we're not, whatever.